We are witnessing a fascinating shift in the American firearms landscape as we move deeper into 2025. The data is not just numbers on a spreadsheet, it is a clear indicator of where the mindset of the modern shooter is heading. On one side of the aisle, we have a resurgence of heavy metal, classic lever actions, and magnum calibers that speak to a desire for raw power and tradition. On the other side, we see an aggressive push toward hyper-modernity with modular systems and tactical platforms that are direct descendants of military research and development. Today, we are analyzing 8 distinct items, 4 cutting-edge firearms, and 4 ballistic standards that are currently defining the market. These are the tools that are selling out, the calibers that are filling freezers, and the platforms that are protecting homes across the nation. Leading this analysis is perhaps the most desirable tactical rifle platform currently available to the civilian market, the Sig Sauer MCX Series. The popularity of the MCX has been turbocharged recently, largely driven by the United States military's adoption of its sibling, the XM7 Spear variant. When the military selects a new operating system, the civilian market pays attention, and for good reason. At a casual glance, the MCX might appear to be just another AR pattern rifle, but that assessment is chemically pure ignorance. Under the hood, this machine is a completely different animal. The core of the MCX supremacy lies in its short-stroke gas piston system. This engineering choice eliminates the need for the buffer tube entirely. The immediate tactical advantage here is the ability to utilize a fully functional folding stock. This allows the weapon to be deployed from a vehicle or a bag with a speed and compactness that a standard buffer tube rifle simply cannot match. Furthermore, the system is built with extreme modularity in mind. It allows for easy caliber changes by simply swapping the barrel and the bolt, meaning a single serialized lower receiver can host multiple mission profiles. The adjustable gas system is another critical feature, specifically tuned for running suppressors. By venting excess gas at the piston rather than blowing it back into the shooter's face, the MCX provides a much cleaner and more pleasant shooting experience when running suppressed. However, this level of engineering comes with a heavy price tag, both financially and physically. The MCX is noticeably heavier than a comparable direct impingement rifle, a trade-off for its piston reliability. The entry-level Virtus Patrol models start around $1,999, with the compact Rattler coming in at $2,499. If you want the top-of-the-line Spear LT, you are looking at an investment of up to $3,499. Despite the cost for serious enthusiasts, law enforcement, and those who demand a battle-proven pedigree, the Sig Sauer MCX remains the gold standard of modern tactical rifles. Transitioning from the cutting edge of modular warfare to the absolute heavyweight champion of long-range kinetic energy, we arrive at our second entry, the 300 Winchester Magnum. If the MCX represents the future of tactical flexibility, the 300 Win Mag represents the timeless reality of raw power. Since Winchester rolled this beast out in 1963, it has stood as the standard bearer for hunters who need to reach across a canyon and put a definitive end to a hunt. This is not a cartridge for the faint of heart. It was built from the ground up for big targets at long distances, specifically designed to ethically harvest elk, moose, or bear, where other rounds simply run out of steam. Let us look at the ballistics that keep this round at the top of the food chain. It launches a standard 308 diameter projectile, typically found in the 150 to 220 grain weight class. When you take a lighter 150 grain load, it is screaming out of the muzzle at approximately 3,300 feet per second. That velocity translates to a massive 3,600 foot-pounds of energy. That is enough kinetic shock to punch right through the vitals of heavy-boned game and anchor them on the spot. Its trajectory is flat enough that a competent rifleman can make confident, ethical shots well past 400 yards. However, you have to respect the trade-offs. The recoil impulse on this cartridge is stout, it hits hard, and that is usually the first thing new shooters notice. It is an aggressive shove that can induce a flinch if you are not disciplined. Furthermore, feeding this rifle is an investment. You can expect a box of 20 premium hunting loads to run you $50 or more. But for the hunter who needs one rifle to cover everything from whitetail to the nastiest game on the North American continent, the 300 Win Mag remains the undisputed king of reach. At number 3, we see a return to American steel and walnut with the resurgence of the Marlin Model 1895. Ever since Ruger stepped in and resurrected the Marlin brand, lever gun fans have had a lot to be excited about. This is not just nostalgia, it is about the demand for a rifle that is bomb-proof, accurate, and dead nuts reliable in the harshest conditions imaginable. The Model 1895 has returned with a vengeance, quickly becoming one of the company's best-selling product lines. Available in several flavors, from the tactical blacked-out dark series to the stainless steel tank-tough SBL model, this rifle is most commonly sought after in the heavy-hitting 4570 government chambering. Ruger's manufacturing expertise has brought a new level of quality control to Marlin, meaning the rifles coming off the line today are more consistent than ever before. The solid steel receiver feels like it could stop a truck, and the side ejection design makes mounting modern optics a breeze compared to older top-eject models. Let us be honest, the SBL model's starring role in the film Jurassic World certainly did not hurt its popularity, cementing it as the premier guide gun for dangerous game. However, these are not lightweight tools. Most models weigh between 7.5 and 8.3 pounds, and due to the immense demand, prices have climbed significantly. You can expect to pay anywhere from $949 for a standard model up to $1,399 for the highly sought-after SBL. Moving to number 4, we have the master of efficiency that has claimed the top spot in the hearts of American hunters for 2025. The .308 Winchester. Originally released in 1952 as the civilian counterpart to the military's 7.62 NATO, this round is currently dominating the hunting world. It takes the number 1 spot because it balances every variable perfectly. It utilizes the exact same .308 diameter bullet as the 30-06 but packages it into a short action case. This geometry is critical because it means the rifles themselves can be lighter, stiffer, and shorter, making them much handier to carry over miles of timber or rugged terrain. Performance-wise, a standard 150-grain bullet clocks in at about 2,800 feet per second, delivering around 2,600 foot-pounds of energy. This is the perfect medicine for whitetail, hogs, black bear, and elk at moderate distances. The .308 has earned a rock-solid reputation for outstanding inherent accuracy and very modest recoil, allowing for all-day shooting without fatigue. Logistically, it is unbeaten. Ammunition is stocked in nearly every single gun shop across America, usually running between $20 and $30 a box. While it lacks the raw horsepower for extreme long-range shots compared to the Magnums, its combination of availability, shootability, and lethal efficiency makes it the default choice for the modern hunter. At number 5, we turn our attention to Scandinavian precision with the Tikka T3x. Just beating out some other big names on the sales charts, the Tikka T3x lineup has built a fiercely loyal following by delivering exceptional precision and battlefield reliability at a price point that undercuts the competition. Some critics dismiss Tikka as just a budget Sako, but that assessment sells this rifle way short. While Sako might be the pinnacle of refinement, Tikka stands on its own as a world-class firearm. The T3x series, particularly the ultralight models, are flying off shelves because they feature a stainless steel fluted barrel and a rugged synthetic stock, all in a package that weighs just under 6 pounds before you add glass. The bolt throw on a Tikka is famously smooth, feeling like it is riding on ball bearings right out of the box. These rifles are known for consistent sub-minute of angle accuracy regardless of the weather conditions. The factory single-stage trigger is arguably one of the best in the business, crisp and clean without needing aftermarket modification. However, there are trade-offs. The aftermarket support is not as extensive as it is for domestic platforms like the Remington 700, and the proprietary magazines can be expensive and hard to find. Base models start around $699, but for those who value finish engineering and lightweight performance, it is a bargain. At number 6, we have the cartridge that completely changed the long-range conversation, the 6.5 Creedmoor. When Hornady originally rolled this round out back in 2007, it was built strictly for ringing steel and precision competitions. It was designed to win matches, but it did not take long for the hunting community to realize that the same math that wins trophies also fills freezers. The magic here is efficiency. The 6.5 Creedmoor fires a 2.64-inch projectile, typically in the 120 to 147 grain window. A solid 140-grain load exits the barrel at around 2,900 feet per second, generating roughly 2,600 foot-pounds of energy. But the real advantage is the high ballistic coefficient. This bullet is incredibly aerodynamic, meaning it is slippery in the wind. It experiences less drop and less wind drift than many traditional calibers, making long-range precision accessible to the average shooter. The other massive selling point is recoil, or the lack thereof. The kick is so mild that you can often watch your own bullet trace through the scope, which is invaluable for making corrections. This makes it an ideal choice for new shooters or smaller-framed hunters. However, it is not a magic wand. It lacks the raw displacement and knockdown power of the true magnums on the largest game, and penetration can be an issue on heavy bone. But for deer, antelope, and precision work, it has become the modern standard. Sliding into the number 7 spot is the Kel-Tec Sub-2000 Gen 3. This rifle has carved out a unique niche as one of the most innovative pistol-caliber carbines on the market. It lands here because of its radical portability. This blowback-operated firearm literally folds in half at the receiver, locking up into a package that is less than 16.5 inches long. It is the ultimate gray man rifle, perfect for stashing in a bug-out bag, a laptop case, or under a truck seat. The third-generation model is significant because it fixed the biggest annoyance of the previous versions. The forend now rotates. This means you can keep a red dot or optic mounted on the top rail even when you fold the gun, a massive tactical upgrade. Available in 9mm or 40 caliber, its logistical advantage is undeniable. It accepts a huge variety of common pistol magazines, including those from Glock, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and CZ. This allows you to run the same magazines in your sidearm and your primary rifle. While the ergonomics can be a bit awkward due to the tube stock design and the trigger is heavy, the sheer utility of a folding carbine that shares ammo with your handgun makes it a top seller. Finally, claiming the number 8 spot, and frankly, the number 1 spot in terms of raw volume, is the Ruger 1022. It will come as a shock to absolutely no one to see this rimfire workhorse on the list. The Ruger 1022 continues to dominate the market in sales, reputation, and sheer versatility. Offered in at least 9 different series, from the ultralight takedown models to heavy-barreled match competition rigs, there is a variant for every single shooter. The secret to its success is the rotary magazine. This brilliant design fits flush with the stock and solves the feeding issues that plague many other rimfire rifles. It is famous for its reliability, eating almost any brand of ammunition you feed it. Furthermore, the aftermarket ecosystem is unmatched. You can replace every single screw, spring, and pin on this gun to build it exactly how you want it. No gun collection is complete without one. And judging by the sales numbers in 2025, America agrees. There you have it. 8 platforms that tell the story of the American shooter in 2025. From the high-tech tactical dominance of the Sig MCX to the timeless utility of the Ruger 1022, these are the tools we trust. Whether you are hunting, competing, or preparing for the unknown, choose your gear wisely. Stay sharp, train hard, and we will see you on the range.